there, my name's Kiri and I'm a flower farmer here in Western Washington in Zone 8A. Today is Saturday, April 23rd, and I'm coming to you from the greenhouse. I feel like it's been a while since I've chatted with you out here. That's because the weather's been so terrible, but it's finally clearing up a little bit. It is currently 50 degrees out, but it should get to 60 degrees today. I've got the stand open and stocked up, but I'm going to take care of a few things outside today. My last frost date was on Wednesday this last week, so I should probably be okay to plant some stuff out. And I know you guys probably know this, but for anybody who doesn't know this, your last frost date is an average, so it's not set in stone, and there's still a possibility that you could have frost after that date. And with the way this spring has been very cold, you know, we got snow in April, which that never happens here, so it might be a little bit of a risk to be planting out, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, you know, I have more seeds so I can succession sow some things. So the greenhouse is incredibly full, so that's part of the reason why I want to get some of this stuff out. I guess I'll just give you a little bit of update on what I'm going to be planting out today. So these are my Queen Lime series zinnias and then my cosmos. I also seeded these basils, and I think I was just doing a poor job of monitoring the watering, so they look a little bit sad. I'm going to plant out the ones that look okay and then do another succession sowing. As you can see, I got a lot of dahlia action going on, so I want to plant some of these out too. We're also going to plant out this Mahogany Splendor. And if I have time today, I'm going to plant up the circle garden with these cone flowers that I started from seed last year. First up is the Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus. I pinched most of these and they are branching very nicely, and they are going on the side of my house that gets full sun. So this is on the southern side of my house, and actually Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus is a tender perennial in my zone, so we'll see if these become a part of the landscaping. But I want them to get nice and dark and red, so that's why I'm giving them lots of sun. Alright, I mentioned this before, but I'm going to try a really tight spacing for these dahlias. A Seattle-based farmer florist plants her single dahlia tubers in a 6 by 6 inch spacing and clumps in a 10 by 10 inch spacing. And I'm going to give that a try this year. Apparently that helps them support each other, and then you don't have to worry too much about them falling over, having to do really advanced staking systems. Obviously I do have stakes here. I was thinking about doing like netting just like my other rows, but I think I might do the corral method where I just do like twine around the outside. We'll just have to see. These are definitely ready to get planted out, and it's going to get a little cold this next week, probably around, I think the low is like 37, but I think these will be fine. Well, that's what happens when you don't support them. I think this will re-root though, so I think I'm just going to plant this how it is. I mean, if you can do cuttings with the little sprouts, why can't I do cuttings with this? I'm still waiting on my Swan Island dahlias, so I'm so glad that I started these inside earlier. I got the dahlias staked up. I just used sticks and twine, and we're going to see how they grow, and then I'll figure out what netting system I want to use. What a goofball. Next up is tackling the circle garden. It is super weedy, so I have to dig down and get the roots of these horsetails. So that's what I'm doing, but I know you can see in the stand, so let's take a look. This is what I put out this week. So I did have a lot more yellow, but I tried to get some reds in there too. And then I also did some more deluxe jam jar posies at the higher price point, and then a couple other arrangements. So my grandma has an older variety of dogwood in her yard, and it sends off those suckers, so she gave me one, and so I'm planting that out right in the middle. I think it'll look really nice. It's a creamy white color. And then I also planted out the Eryngium starts that I started, oh my gosh, way back in, December 31st? Yeah. So I only have a few of those that made it out, but I've got 18-inch spacing here around the center. I'm trying to be really delicate too. I don't want to disturb the roots because they are sensitive to transplant shock. And then around the outside of the Eryngium ring, I did my purple coneflower that I started from seed last year, so they should flower this year. Circle garden is all planted up, and then the lavender will go along the edge here. So I planted up the basils that looked okay enough right here in the 6x6 inch spacing, and a lot of them were starting to send side shoots when the main leader had kind of died off. So I think they'll be okay. We'll see how they do. Also, digging with this trowel and these little holes has really not been fun. And I was telling my husband, I was like, man, I need a bulb auger. And you know, there's some things that are wants and there's some things that are needs. And if you're going to have landscape fabric, there's things you need with that, like landscape staples, but also probably a bulb auger. Who needs a bulb auger? Alright, I got all my cosmos and my zinnias, the Queen Lime series ones that I started earlier, planted out. I also planted out a lot of the basil, some of the ones that looked really bad I didn't plant out. But yeah, at this point I have 3 rows totally full. This row's halfway full, and then I'm starting another 6-inch one, so looking pretty good. Let me show you the greenhouse, it's so empty. So these celosias probably could be planted out, but I'm just going to skip that for now. And yeah, so it's going pretty good now. I'm really excited that I can start seeds out here from now on. So that'll be really awesome. And I got the circle garden almost planted up 100%. I don't want to plant the lavender out because I still have baby starts that, you know, I want to be able to figure out how I'm going to like do every other as like a mature one, and then one I started this year, and so those aren't ready, so I'm just gonna not do that for now. Sales are going okay this week. It's a little bit slower, and I think that's just because I have a lot of the same colors going on, and so I think people aren't seeing that the bunches are different. Now that I have some parrot tulips in there, you know, it just kind of looks like yellow and red. Yeah, it's been a little bit slower, but not bad. In terms of dollar amount, it's about the same as last weekend, but in terms of number of customers, it's quite a lot fewer. And I did talk to a couple different customers, and one person said that their flowers were just starting to look a little bit bad. So I think maybe people are still enjoying their bouquets. And then the other person I talked to said, oh, I got one of those last week, looking at the straight tulip bunches. So I think it's perceived that they are the same items, even though they're a little bit different. So I think I'm going to try to start doing, instead of like mixing colors together, just doing straight colors, like all red, all pink, to see if that helps give a perceived variety. So I think I'm going to try that next week. And I have so many tulips popping right now. My fridge is probably going to fill up, and I'm a little bit nervous about that, but we'll figure it out. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you next week.